be on the
right.
side. So it's
That's
fear, 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 fear.
that's still thoughts, though. That's still a
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
What's in between? Because the thought is always the past.
Mm,
Thought is always the
mm,
past, and whatever's in the past, the thought is gonna just gonna repeat it, and so therefore it's like a cycle. You can't get out of it,
mm,
and so it's obvious that there's no solution there. Then you may say like, what about the future?
mm.
Maybe someday they will change, or whatever. That thought, still a thought. So what's in between that thought of the past and that projection of the future?
Mm. What's in between the thought and the projection of the future?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. How do I understand thoughts as well? Here's my thing about thoughts as well. Like, here's the thing. How do I even look at thoughts? Because you see, the thoughts.
Hey, what if
Mhm.
you remove the language? What are you without the
Mm,
language?
I mean, I guess a
Because if you use a
consciousness.
language, it's a thought.
Mhm.
What are you besides that word consciousness?
Well, again, just being attention, man, attention and being, like
Okay.
the moment.
What about besides that word attention?
Mm, well, all that is, man, that's all that is.
Okay. What about all there is? What is between all there is and all there isn't?
Well, moment, maybe breath, moment.
What is between moment and no moment?
It's just a gap. it's just a gap, dude. It's just a gap.
Okay. What's between gap and no gap? What
I
is
don't
it if
know,
you
dude.
don't, if you can, what is it if you can't use words? What is it?
What is it if you can't use words? No, of course. Hmm. It's just, for example, right now, you just hear a bunch of things speaking to you, like, you know, silence, man, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the 0 point.
Yeah, dude. Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I feel it. I feel it. I
It's
know
so
it's
it's
in you.
always here. See,
Mm,
that's the trick, that it's always here and
mm,
we're looking for it. And it you know, and it's the easiest thing actually. The easiest thing. This is so obvious, so here.
mm.
That's like you can't you the second you look for it, the second you ask the question with your brain, you're in the game,
It's true.
chasing
Start,
your own tail.
start creating stories, dude.
Yeah,
Mm,
but this is it. This is like, if anything, I would say that it's a form of deep listening. It's not listening with your brain. It's not listening. It's this just this attunement to what is.
mm,
It's a very deep listening, and there's no thoughts. Nothing is happening in your brain,
mm.
and something is happening. But whatever is happening is amazing. if I don't
Yeah.
interject and start interpreting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
that's how
true, man.
you listen to a person, not with the brain, because the brain will always argue with the person.
Yep. Yep. It's true, man.
And it's amazing. Like,
It is. It is. And like for example, you feel the amount of things happening around you. You know, you first of all, I think closest to you is your body, man. You know, like you hear what he needs. Right? I need this. Need to go to the toilet, or need you know, catch a deeper breath, or yeah,
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 or just a lot of, and then you hear and spreads out. But when you just and you're in the moment, right now, we're here again. It's being high, dude. Being high a little bit, right? Even though
that's
high,
exactly.
although high, let's take you for a journey sometimes, man. So, right?
Yeah, but this,
Mm-hmm.
it is high. You do get high,
Mm-hmm.
no question. But sometimes you don't have to smoke. You don't have
No.
to take anything. This thing is always here. And whatever
Mm-hmm.
it wants to do, it does. And sometimes it just makes you high and, and laugh or whatever, or say something, but it comes from that heart, that source. It's not from the brain anymore. And so there's no point absolutely to relate to with one another with the brain.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is.
Like
You.
what is
You.
the point? Did anyone ever found a resolution uh you know with the brain and logic to
Yeah.
something that's already here?
Yeah.
What a joke.
Yeah. It's so many stories piled up on it, right?
Yeah,
So many inventions on top of it, right?
yeah. And
Yeah.
anything that's of value came from
Yeah.
this.
Decor or whatever. Not even a core. Who knows, man?
Whatever you want to call
Yeah.
source, God,
Yeah.
presence. These are just words to describe it.
I appreciate it, bro. I feel what you just did, man. I appreciate it. You know, I get those
Nice.
points.
Do you?
No, you know, I get these points sometimes here and there during the day, but it felt very nice how you just dripped the water down into the silence. It's very nice, man.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
nice,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you, man.
It's amazing. There is this silence or stillness,
Mm.
but there's also emotion happening, but you're no longer controlling it. It does
No,
what it wants to do.
yeah, dude. I feel it. It's almost like, you know, if I were to just relate, but again, I'm feeling stuff. But when you said it, in the silence, I feel it. It's somehow from here.
Hmm.
This, I don't know. It doesn't even have a sound, but it does have a sound. But it's just like
Yeah,
there's the silence, dude.
it's the silence.
Did the birds stop chirping in your place?
Birds are chirping in my place. Yeah, but
You hear it. Okay. Okay.
yeah, but when there's a silence behind the chirping, when there's a silence behind
Mm.
anything, when there's a silence behind sensations, you know, like the slightest sight or motion feels absolutely amazing from that place. And it's a little bit like I would imagine how the baby feels like when exploring the world, why it wants to touch everything and taste everything
Mm.
because
Mm.
it's amazing.
Mm.
Before the brain develops, it's just pure experience.
That's
And
right.
then when we grow up, we keep on looking for that. We're trying to
Yeah.
return to what was like to feel the world through the innocence. That's another word for it.
Yeah.
The Virgin Mary, innocence.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah. Yeah.
um
The
and
child,
it's here.
right?
Right.
Jesus said, right? What is it? The innocence of a child.
The innocence of a child. Exactly. Exactly.
You have to be
And this,
innocent like a child. Right?
right, right, right.
Mm.
And so it's always here. And in fact, if you try to seek it, it will go away. The second you try to seek it, gone.
It makes sense, man.
Yeah. But this innocence and then peace and the silence must be protected.
Yeah,
Because, and that's when the masculine part of it comes in, right? Because this innocence is pure feminine being. Like you feel like you're in a mother's womb. You're totally comfortable and everything that is happening is delicious.
Yeah.
You know?
Fresh.
But in here, in this 3D video game, that is under threat. Everything is trying to pull you out of that state.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? Everything's trying to yeah, go ahead.
Can I be spontaneous in something?
Sure.
My body right now wants to go to the toilet and do a quickie.
Hey,
relief.
Hey, yeah, go do your
Can
thing.
you pause?
And
pause very quick, and I'll be back in a multi-second. But take this.
All right.
This made me feel all kinds of things. Right, dude?
All right.
Just pause. I'll be in a second. All right, dude? Okay. All right. Do I just leave it playing like that, and I'll be back, okay?
Yeah, do your thing.
I appreciate it.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back after a little pause.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
No worries. Right. So, of course, welcome to the 0 point. It's always been here.
Yeah, man. It's very nice, man.
And it always will be here, no matter what. Even like in the darkest moments, it's still going to be here.
Yeah.
And to tune to this in the darkest moments, it requires something else. That's when the masculine comes in. This is what people call Jesus. Jesus, he might have been like a historical figure, right? Because no one knows who wrote that thing. Nobody knows who wrote that thing, right? But one thing is for sure, that it is archetypical story. It's a hero's journey for that archetype. And why would that be necessary? What's the challenge here? Why would you would need a man who brings down the heavens? And why it's a man? It's because in order to preserve that innocence in the darkest depths of this reality, there's a tremendous power that is necessary. The deeper the abyss, the more power it is necessary to bring the innocence there, which is a power protects the innocence. That innocence is love, the real love. It's not something that you trade. It's with you all the time. Compassion, sometimes people call it innocence, compassion. But I would say compassion is something that you bring that innocence where there is a threat to that innocence, and compassion can overtake that threat and sustain that bubble of innocence. And that can only be done by what people call Jesus. But Jesus is a You know, the word Jesus means the one that perseveres, the one that can be in the depths of like pain or pressure that you mentioned, that you know that you felt, and still tune in to that innocence.
Mm.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge that all men face here on this planet.
Mm.
It starts with this, you know,
Mm.
attention and awareness game.
Mm.
It starts from here,
Mm.
and every man's job is to protect his family, not just physically, but through all these types of energetic threats, emotional threats that come in. And it does that by facing them completely. So there might be some, you know, like you experienced a tantrum in your story. The energy just came over you and you animated that energy. You can call it demon if you like.
Mm.
And as that energy is coming at you, you can
Mm.
stay with it and be it,
Mm.
or you can face it.
Mm.
And so this is and it's not easy. This is why this is not easy. Not everyone can do this. Not everyone can walk into the fire.
Mm.
And this is exactly what it is. But some men do, and these men that are actually are capable of protecting, uh, you know, their family and their close ones with by creating that field of energy. Despite what the matrix is trying to attack you, you create that bubble of energy because you face all these energies that are trying to, you know, take you over, really,
Mm.
you know, turn you into
Exactly.
this, you know, monster, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, some people may say it's a type of malicide. It is destroying the evil, destroying that what's everything bad. And it's all done inside through your attention and awareness.
Mm.
And you can notice every day you wake up and there's a certain type of feeling that is happening, you know? And sometimes you may feel like, whoa, this is like, wow, that's a lot. And it will take a while for you to face it all and adjust to this new thing and go back to that state of innocence, you know? But that's the whole point. The 0 point is the point. And whatever it takes to go to the 0 point, as a man, you do. And as you conquer one type of demon or energy, as you conquer another one, you are changing the structure of your heart. And then when the same one comes at you, it's already, you already diffract that energy back into this alignment energy. And this is where the bliss comes from that peace. This is why sometimes people feel like, well, I feel a lot of peace. And sometimes if, as a man, as you face all these energies, the bliss that's coming through too.
Mm.
The bliss is actually the transmuted dark energy is bliss. And and that little, of course, I'm just illustrating it, but it's very likely that that's how you grow your soul, that crystal, you know. And I think that's what people mean by Jesus.
Yeah. It's, well, they also say Christ consciousness, right?
Right,
Christus, right?
right.
And it's
Christos
mm,
is crystal, and Christos is the same
and funny with
because
Iranian, right?
right
Christe is the fall. It's like
as well.
interesting, no?
Exactly.
Mm.
There's a lot of hints in the language. There's so many hints in the language.
Mm.
Yeah. And Christi is exactly it is. You fall. And look, I'm gonna say something very controversial here, okay?
Go for it, my man.
But I like it
Go for it, bro.
because you mentioned the fall. So that's what we do. We come here and we fall, which means we go into hell or abyss. This is what this matrix is. And we bring ourselves challenge. How low can we fall and still find our way back to the light, to that innocence? That's the game. You got frozen here.
Hey, bro, I don't know. Can you hear me? I think I lost
Yeah,
you
I
for a
can hear you.
second.
Yeah.
I lost you for a second.
It's all right. It's all right.
All right, bro.
So, and when you're experiencing these things, all these religious literature start making sense. These cannot be interpreted from the other side, only through your own personal experience. Because you know what happens? It's this the scripture, what people call it, right? You become that scripture, and what happens? You start having the realization, universal realization that relates to everything that's been written about the subject. And so you see it from this side, not from the other side. Because if somebody is teaching you, it's the knowledge. Actually, it's not good news at all. It will form the beliefs that you will gonna have to demolish, back way to the innocence. Because if you have a belief, you cannot touch the innocence. It's a